Well, we are back and we are talking all things 2025. 2025. How much money will you make? What is the declaration that you are committing to today? I mean, one thing I found important and very fascinating was the fact that to call yourself a millionaire, there's three different ways at the minimum that you can become a millionaire. And that's by the assets you own, by the income that you receive, and the liquidation that you have in your bank account. So all three of those different ways you can become or be a millionaire. And of course, as Digital Millionaire University, your founders specifically are millionaires, right? By one of those three ways. And so when declaring income for 2025, I mean, shoot, my sister's name is Cash. What you think is about to happen? I mean, personally, I know that declaring an income is really about strategy because it's not even all about the money. It's about how big the problem that you're solving is, or how big the impact is, or how big your actual leadership will be from the choices that you make, and that's ultimately going to determine, okay, this X amount of dollars is going to come from this, and then you can reverse engineer and set a plan, set a tone, so that way you can ultimately come up with your actual number. But shoot, 2025, I'm going for all cash. What's your number? What's your take on what we making in 2025? Because this is a big year,
Yeah, I have to say it's going to be the multi-millions. But
period.
when you also write a number, you think about a number of the things that you want to make sure that you have you want to make sure that you have a strategy behind it. I think that's important. A lot of times we say like you just mentioned, like we want to make this amount of money, and different things like that, but we have to make sure that we have a strategy behind it, because we can't just make money or say we're going to make money and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just say, yes, for 2025, we're going to make multi-millions of dollars. Like, not for us, obviously, because Digital Millionaire University, we always have a strategy and a plan. But just in general, like, I see a lot of people, they talk about the money that they want to make and the different things, because I think people see money as a way to solving, all of their problems, just as just in a tangible way. Like, I just want to make millions of dollars and no real reason why, or no real strategy why. I think it's because, like, you see people online and you're like, oh my gosh, like, they're making millions of dollars. So just assuming that the life that they have is the same life that you want for yourself. But having a strategy and knowing the deeper reason to why you want to make a certain amount of money, is crucially important when manifesting the amount of money you want to make. So just saying it isn't enough.
I think that's crucial. Like just saying it isn't enough because we could people been saying since birthday one, you feel me, be a millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, all of these different numbers, but the blueprint is really where it comes from. So I'm glad you said that because it's real similar to everything that we do when it comes to making money, when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to business, when it comes to personal health, wellness, working out, different things. Everything has a blueprint. And it's like, well, what blueprint is going to work for you? Now you can have opportunities where you're in mentorships programs like Digital Millionaire University, and if you haven't already, make sure y'all check out in the comments the link to our masterclass that will be next Monday. But essentially, each mentorship or program or investment that you take on, you can gather your own pieces, piece by piece by piece by piece, and really make your own thorough blueprint. And so that blueprint, it definitely will show you exactly what it means and how clear your income can be for 2025. But I just love the fact that we're touching on the fact that you can't just say it. And I even saw something online that was like, oh, well, with your vision boards and different things like that and putting your income on that, like you shouldn't be sharing your vision boards with people and that your vision board is for your vision and a vision board party shouldn't be a thing. I saw that thing online. I'm like, wait, I thought we was just talking about what you want to do next year, but it was a whole debate, and of course it was on Threads. Like, um, make sure you follow me on Threads. Okay, I'll put it in the chat as well. But they were going in cash. I'm like, what's your take on that? Like knowing how much you want to make for the next year and then having that vision, like, and then putting on a vision board. Is it deep to the point where that shouldn't be shared with anybody, or should you have like a specific type of vision board that you're sharing with other people? What's your thoughts?
I feel like it depends on the person. I think that for a lot of people, the individuals that they share vision, like their vision with, is people with limited mindsets. So I think for a lot of people, just overall, we've been, how should I say, programmed and trained to, like, oh, don't speak on it or don't talk about it, which I do agree to a certain extent. Like some things is like, let's talk more work. But it's okay for me, in my opinion, with sharing your vision board, as long as you're sharing it with a group of people who have just as much as vision or ambition than you, because they're they always say, like, if you share your vision to small minds, like it cripples you, meaning you yourself. So I think that's where that lack of like sharing comes in. It's a part of, I feel like, a trauma that we face, whether in our childhood, our adulthood, or just like, when you share something with somebody and it doesn't happen, or you share something with somebody and they're like, you're never going to be able to do that, or like belittle you, or say like, get a real job, or why are you doing this and that. Like a lot of people, believe it or not, even though we're still like we're so far advanced than where we were in the 1900s, 1800s, as it pertains to technology. What is a career? What does business look like? What is entrepreneurship? Even entrepreneurship, like that's a big thing. Like a lot of people don't speak on entrepreneurship, but that is something real. We talk a lot about entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship is for people who currently work and also have businesses and different things like that. So I believe that that's where that perspective comes from, because although I feel like there are some things that you keep to yourself, like overall, a vision board is it's a great thing. Like a lot of times we are, I feel like, shrunken in our place where we are, and we can't get to the next level because we don't share our visions, or we share with the wrong people. And that's where I really feel like that stems from. If you share your vision to the wrong person or the wrong persons, absolutely, I could see why somebody is saying like that's meant for you. But if you think about it, like, we're meant to get further ahead. That's why the African proverbs is like, if you want to go further, you got to go together. So it's all about community, which is, you know, why we built and cultivated Digital Millionaire University, because we can't build something so massive, so impactful with just two people, and definitely not solo. So to get all of these things that we put out on our vision board accomplished, you're going to need a team. You're going to need a group of individuals that have the same collective idea, collectivism. And we see that time and time again. If you look at the top Fortune 500 companies, the top 1%ers of the world, like, although they may be the face, like, of it as a single person, like, if you read their books or you read their stories, they'll tell you, like, they had to build a team. They had to share their vision with the team. Their team had to have a collective mindset of what it was. Like Steve Jobs, when he was creating Apple, like all of these different individuals, when you read, he's like, people wanted to work with him,
Mm.
not necessarily for him, but work because his mind was just so brilliant. But he couldn't do any of this alone. And he shares how he got a lot of his innovative ideas from, different companies and like just putting bits and pieces together. So I think that's a limited belief to say like you don't want to share your goals or your visions with anybody. And also, I feel like for a lot of people, they don't want to share because they don't want to be held accountable. Like, let's be real.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't want people to know what they want to do because if I don't tell you, then you never gonna know that I'm not doing it. And most people do not like to be held accountable, even though it's the words that come directly out of their mouth and they don't want to take accountability. So I'm like, it's one thing, like to say that you don't want to share anything, but like certain things I understand, but just a vision board overall, like you should proudly share that. But you want to share with the right people. And typically vision board parties that I see just for me historically, like when I saw it becoming like a big group thing, is usually with intimate people and or people that's in the same community or
Yeah.
circle as you. So a lot of times it's that sense of community and you're comfortable with those individuals. So the vision board party is so much more rewarding just sharing with people of like minds. So it's a long answer, but long and short is it's nothing wrong with it. I just think that online we debate about the silliest things, things that are not really meaningful.
No, for real. And debating about the silliest things is correct. It's like there's so much space online. Why aren't we just capitalizing on it with just purity and authenticity? But then that comes down to, like you said, certain things that, maybe insecurities or things that people don't want to talk about or don't want to bring up, or just don't have that comfortability level, right? Because when you put stuff online, now it's for everybody, literally. So just to incorporate that in everything you said, it's really just all up to you at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
it's up to you. Like it's up to you how much money you want to make. It's up to you how much you want to share. It's up to you how well you want to be accountable. And I thought that was a perfect answer because accountability is like somebody can't make you be accountable, right? Accountability is ownership. So if you don't want to share your vision board or you don't want to share anything at all, and it's because you lack accountability, that goes to show that you don't have the full ownership in the action of being accountable. And there's like it can go so much deeper than just that because that's really just the surface level, but essentially like the money you receive it is from the impact from who you really are, the person you are. That's going to be the telltale all of the money that you receive because yeah, there are great people who make a lot of money, but then there are also people who, have to work on themselves or don't know that they have to work on themselves and they make money and they lose it. So there's like always a different opportunity for an individual, but have you prepared? Have you allocated your expenses? Do you know where your finances are going now? How many bank accounts do you have open, right? This is not financial advice. I'm nobody's financial advisor. But if you need one, let us know in the comments. I see y'all eating this conversation up. But essentially, like, how are you with your finances now is really gonna tell like how you'll be with your money and your income in the next week, the next month, the next 6 months, the next year. It's like everything plays a part in what you do. You don't wake. I think we were speaking about this before, Cash. I think we was like you don't just wake up and you get this large ass amount of money. Like, oh yeah, I made this bread. Like, no, you did it, because that's not how it goes. Like
Mm-mm.
there's certain anomalies that happen, but You feel me? We'll get the stats on that. Matter of fact, one day maybe we'll share our screen. Let us know if y'all want to share our screen and give y'all some stats, different things like that, because like people do not just wake up and are a millionaire, right? I mean, well, our kids will be because of the stuff we've invested in. Make sure y'all hit that link in the comments because we got some real game that we've been able to master and hire the experts for to set our legacies up. But right now, everybody watching this, everybody tuning in, right? You're obviously here for a reason. There's a legacy that's being built by you and being built around you. So it's like, all right, how are you preparing for the amount of income that's coming to you? Do you understand the amount of taxes? Do you understand the amount of payouts to your team? Do you understand the amount of debt that you have to pay back? Do you understand your expenses per month, right? What are your expenses, your personal expenses, your business expenses? Like all of that really matters in addition to just how much money you're gonna make for the year to come. And I don't know about you, Cash, but that personally is what hit me a few months ago. It's like, yes, being a millionaire is cool and all, but like, what are your actual finances? Do you know them down to a dollar? Like, I asked somebody the other day, I'm like, well, what's your expenses for the month? And they was like, oh, well, maybe it's around. I'm like, no, no, no. What are your expenses for the month? Like, I think that is so crucial to just know especially if you want to make more money because how can God give you more if you're not able to control and handle what you have now, you know?
Yeah, that's so true. Because it's very cute to say you want to make millions of dollars, but the process to do it is not so cute. So a lot of people they want to obtain a certain level of wealth. And I think too, like a lot of people want to do it because they see other people doing it and they think like, oh, if I have, because I see this all the time, like people like, oh, if I had, $1 million right now, like that'll change my entire life. And it's like, no, it wouldn't because the habits, your mindset, you have to do all of those things first. Like you don't
Mm,
have to tangibly have $1 million in your account to be wealthy.
mm-hmm,
Like money is not the only thing that um defines wealth. Like wealth is a bunch of different things. It's an abundance of so many different layers, and money is just one thing. And actually, money is just really a tool. It's a byproduct to pretty much having a wealthy, abundant life. And a lot of times people just see other people and they're like, yeah, I want that life right there. So because that person is a multimillionaire, like I should be a multimillionaire too.
mm,
And there are some people that are very self-aware, and I love people like this where they don't want to be millionaires. Their wealth goal is not to make seven figures a year,
mm-hmm,
and they just want to make an extra, or maybe $10,000 a month. And I think that's totally fine because everybody's purpose, everybody's life journey is different. What I do feel like is no matter what you do, like you said, you should always set up a way to build generational wealth, generational legacy. But that does not mean, and that does not look like $100,000 a month just for easy numbers for everybody. Because your kids can live comfortably with a certain amount of money every month.
mm-hmm,
And that's how kids in today's age, like they live off of their insurance policies. It's not like every wealth baby is getting bringing home $100,000 every month. Like
mm,
some people get 10,000, some people get 20, but you don't have to have $100,000 a month to live an abundant life. So the real thing is being knowing why you want something and what that's attached to, and what are you going to do when you actually obtain and ascertain that much money? Like, what is it that you really want to do? What is it that you really want to build? Who is it that you're willing to become when you have that amount of money? Because it's a different level of responsibility. like you just said, like expenses, all those different things that people don't account for. They just visually picture the life that they want to live and think like, oh, at the snap of a finger, $1 million come in my account right now. And we all know that to not be the case because we've seen many people that have hit the mega millions, the lottery, and they were broke within 2, 3 months. We've seen many people that have received life insurance policies from their parents and all these different things and lost the money or spent the money just in any kind of way as soon as they got it. We've seen many people with assets passed down that have lost it. So it's not about how much money you're going to make, it's about how much wealth are you going to keep. What are you going to do to upkeep such a responsibility? How are you going to be a good steward, like you just said, over your money? And what do you want to do with it? What's the plan? You know what I mean? Like, and that's just how I feel. And a lot of people, they always say, like, we can give you the information, but the hustle and the results is sold separately. Because there's so many resources that we provide here at Digital Media University. You can find resources online, all different types of things to help you get to the next level of becoming a six-figure earner or a seven-figure earner. But it's ultimately up to you as a person to be able to get to that level, which is why every single Monday, I should say every other Monday as well. So, meaning next Monday, we do a masterclass, which will be in the description. And we will be talking about our 3-step method to showing you how to make money online, because it's not just about you writing down like this year I want to do this, this, and that, but it's really about, like you said, you planning out how do you plan to execute this, because every plan, every roadmap is going to look different for everybody. The way there, the same strategies, but it's going to look different for everyone. Meaning, my life is different than your life. So, the way that I strategize or the way that I can get what I need to get done to hit this six-figure month is going to look different than you hitting a six-figure month. And I think that's what people need to realize too, because your schedule is different than mine, your work ethic is different than mine. So
Mm-hmm.
I think people forget that too online. Like, they see people make millions of dollars and then they get in and they're like, well, this is just a scam because I came online and I did X, Y, and Z. And I did, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure you didn't do and you weren't willing to do the exact same things that that person was able to do in order to obtain that amount of wealth. Like, let's just really get real in 2025, and people just need to hold themselves accountable to know, like, you're not really working as hard as the person that's teaching you,
Mm.
but eventually you'll get there. So you can't blame people, and call people or mislabel people because your work ethic wasn't to the level. And everybody's work ethic is different. That's why we're all unique, and that's why we all run our own race. Is what I like to say. And you have to do it your way. As long as you're doing it, because you act on how bad you want something.
Mm. Say it
And
again.
that's just inevitable. Anything that you want in life, you can obtain. It's about how much and what are you willing to do and who are you willing to become to obtain that. Because if you think about it, there's so many things in life. You'd be like, some people be like, I don't know how I did that, but I made it work. It's because your mind was programmed to do it. It's like
Mm.
you had to get it done and there was no other option.
Right.
And a lot of people don't look at, obtaining wealth as, I have to get this done. There's no other option. People say that because it sounds good,
Right.
but because it doesn't feel good, the process and doing it, like, people just give up and they stay stagnant in comfortability. And that's why they're not able to hit those monetization goals. And also, too, like, people are doing it for the wrong reason.
Mm.
And God knows heart. So if you want to just get online and make a whole bunch of money and like that's it, you don't care about people and all, like, It's just not gonna look good for you. So, that's my final piece on just that part of it, but it's just so much to obtaining wealth that people don't talk about, like, wealth principles. There's
Mm.
so much to it besides just writing down a number.
Mm-hmm. Because we could write down numbers all day. No, I absolutely love that, especially the part of like, you know damn well that you are not working as hard as the person that you see. You'll be online looking at the videos like, "Ah, but they making all this money." Well, some of the videos don't even be like that because it's not even true. But the people that are, and then you be looking and you be like, dang, they making all that money. Like, what? But if you stop like in that moment, in that feeling, and you literally ask yourself, like, what are you doing? Like, I think that is a good example of how you can switch up what's going on and what's working and what's not working and why you're not making that certain amount of income or why you're unsure if you're even going to make that amount of money. And so like being in a moment, if you're ever feeling like that or you're ever looking at someone else or you're ever questioning like how much money you're going to make, like actually look at your habits. Look at your behavior when you're online scrolling. Are you scrolling because of the dopamine, or are you online scrolling for information or even um inspiration, right? And what you want to do and how you want to set up your business, because online isn't going anywhere. So it's definitely imperative that we're able to navigate online, and that's again why you have DMU. Shout out to y'all in the comments. But essentially, like, you just really have to look at yourself. It goes back to you at the end of the day. They say it's a new year, and technically the new year starts in April, but I digress because, we can get deep on that in another call. But um it really just talks about you. Like, it talks about you, your actions, what you're going to do, because especially going from like 9 to 5 and then full-time entrepreneurship, like it's really your decision that you have to make every single day. Like, you have to reach out to the clients, you have to reach out to um mentors and coaches to get better at your skill. You have to be the innovative, the creative one. There are multiple tools and AI, ChatGPT, all of that we get in with DMU as well, with cash specifically. But just knowing that you're the one that has to actually, you know come to the computer or be at the desk or write something down or have a conversation. Like, those are all money making activities. And we like to call them RGAs. RGAs, right? Revenue generating activities. What activities are you doing that's going to bring you to your actual money goals? So I want to know, y'all. Drop it in the comments. Like, let's get the commitments all said and done, because I know we about to wrap up here. But what are your commitments that you are making to reach the money goals that you really want to meet in 2025? Like, those commitments, those actions are what is going to have you reach the goal, have you closer to the goal, or essentially not reach the goal at all, because the habits are needed to be committed to. Like, if you deserve the world, well, why do you deserve the world? What habits, what impact, what inspiration, what influence are you doing to connect to the masses that you deserve the world? And that's a everyday look at. Just as much as you wake up, brush your teeth, go in the mirror, like, that's a question you ask yourself in the morning. Whether it's noisy in the background, you got music, you got kids, you got the construction outside, or whether it's quiet, you have a nice candle, you're taking the time, you're self-aware. Whatever the day looks like, because it obviously changes, we have to ask ourselves, what is the habits, what are we controlling that will actually get us to that money goal that we want in 2025? Because respectfully, we've been in 2025 for at least a month or two. Right? It doesn't just happen in 2 days. It's already here. So I challenge y'all to really think about those habits that's going to get you to the money goal, and then drop them in the comments and commit to them. Or you can message us privately on Instagram, at Digital Millionaire University, or hit us up in the email. That way we're able to help you, stay accountable with the classes, with the support that we do provide, because going back to what Cash says, not only is it more beneficial when you do it with a partner or not by yourself, but it's also more enjoyable. It's more simple, because you now have the help that we all need. You now have the reassurance that you may need. You now have the love, the support, the honesty, um, and the trust, right? The confidence, all those different attributes that, on some days it may lack from you, but your partner is overflowing with it. So now that, you're reassured that everything is going to work out. And so, with all of that being said, do you have any final thoughts, Cash? Because I love this topic.
The final thing is do what you say you're going to do and mean it when you say it. No, seriously. But the final thoughts is say what you mean what you say, do the best that you can. There's going to be times where you're going to feel like, things aren't happening fast enough. There's going to be times where you beat yourself up about not being able to, reach certain milestones. But I think the greatest gift that you could give yourself is to never give up and
Mm.
to keep going no matter what. And don't compare yourself to other people. Know that comparison is the thief of joy. Like, to run your own race, be authentic, because in this digital era, there's so many people that want to be like other people. And it's like, in writing down your vision that we talked about, vision board, make sure you're writing to stay your authentic self. Like, obviously we need evolution and we need change, but don't base your own, like your own revenue goals or your own vision based on somebody else's. It's great to have, inspiration, but you want to be careful with idle. You want to be careful with idling other people, because we all know the ruler is God. So seek more clarity with whoever you believe in, and make sure that you're sticking to your plan, and that you are being true to yourself when you do it. So also, smart goals, setting smart revenue is also important, but set realistic things. Like, if you know this is like your first time being in business and all these different things, like, and you don't have a certain amount of money saved up already, you don't have enough money to build teams, it might not be that you are going to set your goal to make $1 million. But listen, if you could make $100, you could make $1,000. If you can make $1,000, you could make $1 million. Set up a way to win, meaning win for yourself. Set up a way to have the right systems in place. Set up a way to have the right community in place, which is all the things that we offer here at Digital Millionaire University, because that's what's going to set you up for success. Money is already here. Money is already abundant. Money already flows to you. But it's about setting up the right mindset, setting up the right systems, setting up the right strategy, setting up a plan to really get the things that you say you want to get done. I think a lot of people miss that. Like, they just don't know how to plan the right way. Um, and they miss out on a lot of opportunities because of that, because they're all over the place and they feel so overwhelmed and all these different things. And also because they want to run a race that they have not yet set their lifestyles up for, meaning like people want to come out the gate and make millions of dollars when they haven't even made 100 yet. Like, they don't even know what it feels like to make money outside of whatever their norm is. And that could be working a 9 to 5, that could be a stay-at-home mom, all of these other things, that could be allowance, whatever it is. You have to set up that mindset and that system first. And then that's when you could really say, like, okay, well, based on this, and this, and based on my lifestyle where I'm currently at, it's more realistic to for me to be able to make this amount of money and then scale from there. And then you can reinvest your money and grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's what I just want to leave with, and invest in community, but the right community. A community that really cares more about your results than you do yourself, honestly. And that's how it is for Digital Millionaire University, because a lot of places they care about the money, but we care about results. We value results, and the community is really nothing without having the individuals inside of the community, but also without having the individuals inside of the community get the results. Those are the things that we push for. We push for that, and it's quality over quantity. So that's what I would end with. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. And yeah, this is awesome.
Word up, y'all. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We are excited for the new year, the new episodes. And we are honestly excited to grow and get past, hurdles. And that's really what it's about. You get the revenue, um, determining by the person that you're able to become, but also the people that you're able to withstand. So again, shout out to y'all for tuning in. Shout out to y'all for connecting. Shout out to y'all for reaching a vast majority of audiences and just relationships to make yourself, your business, and your legacy better. And for 2025, go make that revenue that you really want to make, but ultimately know it comes down to your actions and your habits that you are producing today for tomorrow, for next week, for next month, for next year. So don't fold ever. And if y'all ever need any more support, of course, y'all can always reach out to us. But we love y'all. Our money goes is already, you feel me, multi-millions, like Cash says. So if that's you, then you with the right crew. And make sure y'all hit up DMU. Bye.